Yeah, I started to
That
make guilt. Like,
depressing.
yo, I'll still be of service. I'm like, I just want a yacht.
Yeah. Oh, only a yacht. Okay.
Just a yacht,
Uh, I'll buy you a yacht for Christmas. I'll buy
right?
you a little toy yacht you can put in your bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's no. Spirit likes to keep us poor. You have to promise you'll continue to do the work
Hmm.
even after you have plenty of cash. But even then, they know what your true intention is. And if they award you with the cash and then you're not doing the work, you better believe they're going to come take it away.
Yeah. So bizarre. What does Seth think about people who have a mission, like a healing mission? Why would the humans need to do that?
To help others. We're here to love and support others. I can agree with that. I love what I do, so I can totally agree with that.
I was just thinking of something and I was wondering if Seth would be able to help me answer it because I was looking at those weird images. I used to have this weird dream where I was like, the only way I could describe it to you is as I was kind of like a lava lamp, mass of liquid, and the other side of the room was like the mass, like my liquid was going to that side of the room, and it felt like my life was like, as it went that way, it felt like it was like my life force straining, and it it was completely alien though. There was no reference to being human. It was very higher dimensional. Can you ask Seth if that was me experiencing a higher dimensional realm or something?
Mr. Robot experiencing a higher dimensional realm. Yes, and also when you're experiencing that higher dimensional realm, if you're not protected, they can steal your life force energy.
Yeah, so I was like 5 or something, and I will never forget how bizarre it was to be consciously basically a lava lamp. It was bizarre.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, but I always had the dream when it was just, and it, when when you wake up from a dream, how it feels like, okay, I had that dream. It was just like inside of my own head. But when I would wake up from those ones, it felt like I was coming back from a different universe. It's not like a normal waking up experience. So I was just wondering if maybe Seth knows if I was like in a different universe, or why would I experience that?
Different universe. Yes. Were you in the same universe? No, you were in a different realm. I feel like you were in a different layer. I don't know. You were far.
Yeah, life as a glob. I was a glob.
Oh, wow.
you know,
That's pretty, interesting.
yeah, it's very weird.
Lava lamps are interesting in themselves anyway, because you can look at a lava lamp and see that as a representation of like our soul family, right?
Oh,
So,
sure.
sometimes we come down, sometimes we're going up,
Yep.
sometimes we meet in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually are very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and does Seth think that we plan the next day in advance while we're asleep?
That's a good question. The next day in advance while we're asleep. No, we planned our next day before we got to the earth plane.
Yeah.
Everything is by design.
And the weird thing about that is if we planned it all, then it's like, why choose to experience it if we've already seen it already, like ahead of time?
Oh, another great question. So if we planned it all, why then do we choose to experience it and come down for another lifetime when we already know what the plan is? We already know what the outcome is. Why do we choose to experience it? Because our soul, that's what we have to do. Our soul has to actually live through those experiences. So it's no point. It's
Oh,
kind of like watching the TV, right? So you see a disaster scene on the TV or something on the TV, and then oh well, okay, I've seen that on the TV, but I haven't actually experienced it.
well, can you ask Seth, what is the difference between knowing the whole life and experiencing it?
What's the difference between knowing the whole life and experiencing it? They're two completely different things. And you know the whole life before you get here, and you know the whole life once you leave. Now, once we leave, it's important that all that whole life is imprinted on our soul memory.
Yeah, very bizarre. Um, and the weirdest part about all this is that each one of these individuals has a little bit of a different take on what exactly happens when you're dead in the non-physical. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of makes you wonder who's really right. That's the hard part about what life is like when you're dead.
Oh, well, it's funny because life is very different when we're dead. I mean, I go up to the spirit world frequently and I check things out and I talk to people, and it's very different. We don't have any of those emotional ups and downs like we do in this lifetime, but we certainly do have an existence there.
And what is happening when there's nothing happening? Let's just say it's the equivalent of a sunny afternoon in the spirit realm, and you've already thought for 1,000 years about how to be better, whatever. What are you doing? What can Seth do on his free time?
What do you do on your free time? I make friends. I make soul contracts. I hear about others' interesting experiences and I learn from them. And then I'm plotting and planning my next life.
And where Seth is, can he see, you know, anything around him like golden gates and grassy hills, or what does he see?
I do see grassy hills actually when I go up there. When you are in the spirit world, what do you see? Do you see golden gates? No. Do you see lots of sunshine? Always lots of sunshine, but it's not dangerous like it is in this on the earth plane. And just like it's a meeting point, is what it is. It's a meeting point.
So everyone's just walking around talking to each other.
Is everyone just walking around talking? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much sharing our experiences, cheering each other on, congratulating, other souls for accomplishments, learning. It's very positive. But
And
are the trumpets blowing and the golden gates and Source sitting there waiting for you to take the throne? No.
um and when he's communicating with other beings, are they taking the form of a human shape?
Oh, good question. When you're communicating with other beings, are they taking the form of a human shape? Yes. They
And
often show like who they were, who they've been, who they're going to be.
and what would Seth's experience be like if he came upon an animal spirit?
What would your experience be like if you came I encounter animals all the time. What is that like? What is that experience like? It's very pleasant. They're like, dogs, cats, birds, insects, but they're all in different areas, right? So they seem to be categorized in a different area. It's not often that they're roaming around.
Weird. Sounds like a loading dock.
Oh, yeah. That gave me cold chills. That's so accurate.
It's like the organization you would have in a very specific kind of a place. Yeah. Oh, can you ask me if there's barriers between the regions, or are the spirits naturally gathering in certain areas by themselves?
Ooh, good question. Are there barriers in between the regions? No. Are they just naturally gathering? Yes, you're free to roam.
But can Seth have a conversation with like a deer spirit?
Can you have a conversation with like a deer spirit? No, not unless it's been granted permission to come over to the human aspect.
Has Seth communicated with any animal spirits before?
Many times. This
Do
is interesting to me because a lot of times people will ask me to channel their pets. And when I see them, they're often living in the spirit world with past loved ones, like
Oh, weird.
somebody's grandmother, somebody's grandfather.
Well, you have to wonder if the cat was a cat in his last lifetime, which owner it would choose,
Oh, right, right. Interesting.
Well, I'm just wondering if the animal gains a level of consciousness where it communicates, like, for lack of a better word, in English.
What? Okay, repeat that. Sorry.
Well, I just wonder, like, if Seth encountered like an ant where its brain is so small it can't think, words, but if it's dead, if it has the same intelligence as a human soul.
No, but that's a good question because I can channel anything with a consciousness, whether it's living or dead. And sometimes I'll, in the summertime, if there's a wasp flying close,
Yeah.
right, I'll communicate it with it telepathically. I'm like, hey, don't fly over here. You need to go somewhere else, right? I know that sounds kind of crazy. And it'll say, no, I'm going here. And I'm like, no, you need to. And so I start arguing with like wasps and bees. You know what I mean? Which is,
Yeah.
it's so bizarre. But their instinct to survive is a lot stronger than the human instinct to survive. The higher the consciousness is elevated, it's almost like the lower the consciousness or the level of survival. Because animals will survive no matter what. So the more you raise your consciousness through knowledge, enlightenment, the less you care to survive. The more you are accepting that your soul will pass on, into the next dimensional realm.
Yeah.
Whereas an animal doesn't have that level of consciousness, right? So their level of consciousness is to survive no matter what.
Can you ask Seth if there's any scenario where you don't transcend into that next realm when you die?
You could become an earthbound spirit.
Oh, can you ask if that's what is a ghost?
Yes, that's one of the definitions of a ghost. Yes.
Do we have a decision in if we become a ghost versus, going back up into the spirit realm or whatever?
Do we have a decision to become a ghost? No, we're all supposed to go.
And how come some people are stuck?
It's part of their life lesson.
And are there souls on Earth that'll never get a chance to transcend, like go up, and like they're stuck being ghosts?
That's a good question. There's souls here. Yes.
And can you ask Seth if when we look in a mirror, if there is like a parallel reality in like a mirror realm?
Is there a parallel reality? No.
Some people are worried that if you stare into yourself in the mirror for too long, you can accidentally swap places with your mirror version of yourself and be stuck in the mirror world.
That's a really interesting concept. Can you actually get stuck in that parallel mirror? No.
Can you ask Seth if there's any truth to those summoning things where like you can like summon a ghost with mirrors?
Ooh, like mirror, mirror on the
Yeah.
wall.
When
Mirrors of the wall.
you splash, well, there's lots of different stories of, you splash water on the mirror or blood or whatever, and can a mirror be a gateway?
Yes, absolutely. And I've given you I think I've given you an example before where
The
somebody,
shop.
yeah, the black magic spell on the back of the mirror. It wasn't on the front of the mirror. The mirror was capturing souls,
Mm-hmm.
and the spell was attached to the back of the mirror.
What does Seth think about that spell?
It was pretty evil. It was to steal energy, which, going back to what we talked about in the beginning, this bad shaman, and there's a lot of them. A lot of time, because I'm like, how I've connected with this shaman, right, during these readings, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how on earth is this shaman so powerful? And what it does is he has people connect with the trees, right? So similar to the mirror, it
Mm-hmm.
just needs to connect with some sort of object. When you're connecting to it, you're putting your life force energy into it, particularly if you're on ayahuasca. And okay, that's major creep factor. But particularly if you're on ayahuasca, and then the shaman was in the background stealing all the energy to make himself the most powerful being.
But can you ask Seth how someone would learn that knowledge? Like, why? Like, how is that knowledge even available to a human?
Yeah, that was my question. How, oh God, I don't like this stuff. How on earth did they manage to um know that? Like,
Yeah.
how would anybody know that? But you see, that was given to them from the what was that? That knowledge was given to them from dark entities. It's
Yeah.
mirror magic. Seth says mirror magic.
Can you ask Seth if there's any white light magic?
Yes, there is.
Like curing yourself from cancer or something?
Yes, but it's a lot harder because you have to connect with a higher frequency.
And how do we use white light magic to heal ourselves?
You have to connect in. So there's lots of different frequencies. There's like healing frequencies. There's, prosperity frequency, which is lower than healing. There's the knowledge frequency, the power frequency. As long as it's for the highest good, and your intentions are pure, you have to connect with it. You have to raise your frequency to match it. It will not lower its frequency to match you.
Yeah. And on a different note, can you ask Seth if there ever has been actual vampires in the history of the earth?
Ooh, have there been actual vampires in the history of the earth? No. Good question.
I'm like tackling a few
You're
myths.
looking, you're looking at all these animal pictures. It reminds me of a Facebook post I saw this week where, I live out in the country and we have a few, dog ladies. They're the ladies that rescue like stray dogs,
Mhm.
they're very passionate about what they do. And this lady says, "Oh, look at this cute baby German Shepherd I found at the side of the road. I had to fight it. It was trying to eat a deer, but I managed to get it in my car." And the
Yeah.
picture was a coyote. Oh, God. She was like,
Wow.
"What should I name him? He's so cute. I guess I'm going to keep him." And they're like, "Call him Wiley, Wiley the coyote, because that is a coyote you've got in your car. You're going to take him home and he's going to eat all your animals." Oh, my God.
Well, I know that you can channel any kind of entity, and I think the coolest animal is a dolphin because they have a brain that's basically bigger than ours. Um, so can you ask Seth if he's ever had a conversation with any dolphins that are on our planet right now?
Conversation with any dolphins that are on our planet right now? No.
Why not?
Never occurred to him.
Can we channel a dolphin? I'm trying to find a dolphin that's alive right now, and I feel like all these pictures might be old.
Well, Miami.
No. um,
Is there a dolphin that's alive right now? Where's that one? That one's still alive.
okay, what's this dolphin up to right now?
What is this dolphin up to right now? Sleeping.
Is half of its brain awake?
Is half of its brain awake? Yes, it shuts down part of the brain.
Does this dolphin, do they have politics?
Just do they have politics? Yes.
And what's something that dolphins find humorous?
What is something? Tricking people. Tricking. That's funny to them.
Yeah,
Outsmarting.
I saw a video of a dolphin pick up some girl's phone. She dropped her phone in the ocean. The dolphin like picked it up and brought it to her. It's pretty cool.
Wow. I've been
Um,
swimming with the dolphins before. Have you?
no, I should.
Hmm. It's interesting. It's not a very long experience. It's only a few seconds, but it's the sheer power that they have. You hold on to their fin or their flapper or whatever it is, and I mean, we were going fast, right? It was a
Yeah,
little frightening. And they said, "Do you want shallow end or do you want deep end?" I was like, "You might as well just put me out in the deep end because I paid like $200 for this experience.
yeah,
So take me out as far as you could go." And within a few seconds, I was several hundred feet. It was amazing how fast they moved, and it was pulling me.
yeah.
Their power, like their sheer power.
Gigantic muscle. What does this dolphin think of sharks?
Sharks. They're available. What do you mean they're available? They're available to toy with. I don't feel like the sharks would really bother the dolphins too much.
Mm-hmm. Is this dolphin having a dream right now?
Do you have dreams? No. Are you having a dream right now? No, they don't dream. In order to dream, the entire brain or most of the brain has to shut down.
And has this dolphin been an animal in its previous lives?
Yes, several hundred.
And does the soul of this dolphin have any concern that it wants to ascend?
Does the soul of the dolphin have any concern it wants to ascend? Yes, that is the goal.
And what would be the next level of ascension for the dolphin soul?
Ascension for the dolphin soul. Ooh. Would it be a human? A baby.
A baby human?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a good question.
can you ask Seth or Jesus or anyone if there's any humans on the planet right now that were previously dolphins?
Are there any humans on the planet now that were previously dolphins? Loads. Thousands. Millions.
Is the dolphin the highest level on the animal soul hierarchy?
So, hierarchy. No.
Is
But
it a
don't
cow?
forget. Oh, is it a cow? No. I feel like something tells me it is like a bird. Because the sheer magnitude of experiences that a bird has to go through is unlike any other animal soul experience. Living in the water is relatively easy compared to living a lifetime as a bird.
So I remember one of our conversations, you got that I was a deer in one of my past lives.
Oh, I don't remember what I tell people.
Can you ask my soul if I went from deer straight to human?
Did you go from deer straight to human? No, you had lifetimes in between.
Oh, more animal stuff.
Yes, you've had many, many, many lifetimes as birds.
Interesting. Oh,
What was the animal that he was before he was human? What? Squirrel. A squirrel, believe it or not.
yeah. You know what's weird is last night I had this dream that my grandma let it was like a minx or some kind of very exotic cat into the house, and it was chasing a squirrel through our house
Really?
through where she's at. Yeah, it's just I
Mm.
always have these weird animal dreams, and I'm always wondering if they're like spirit guides, or most people would assume an animal is a spirit guide in their dream.
Most people be correct to assume that an animal is a spirit guide in a dream. No.
Was that Seth or who was that?
Yes, I'm sorry, that was Seth.
And what did you ask him?
If it was a correct assumption that that when you're dreaming of animals, it's a spirit guide. That was a no.
What is Seth's interpretation of animals in our dreams?
What is your interpretation of animals in our dreams? That they're there to just show you a different concept.
Are they actually animal consciousnesses interacting with our human consciousness in the spirit realm?
Animal consciousness is acting as human. What is that? Are they actually animal consciousness? What was the rest of it?
Yeah, are we experiencing, the non-physical aspects of an animal, in our own spirit realm, or is it just an extension of ourselves?
No. Is it just an extension of ourselves? Of ourselves? No. Why do we dream of animals? They're just there to bring in the lessons.
Yeah,
Because most of the time, we dream about animals that we don't like.
yeah, because depending on where you are on the planet, an animal in your dream is going to mean something else, like the Native American or like the Hindu. Um, just there's a lot of religious connotations with animals. So I just wonder if spirit guides use animals to represent anything ever in your dreams.
Yes. So animals are to represent things in the dream, but they're not actual guides.
Hmm.
They're placed there by the guides.
And what is Seth's interpretation of snakes in a dream?
Oh, I hate snakes. What is your interpretation of snake in a dream? Fear, mostly.
Hmm. Yeah, so what's weird is when your Kundalini opens, it's called the serpent energy, and you get a lot of snake dreams.
Ooh.
What does Seth think about that?
It's by design to scare you away from doing it.
Okay. You can't argue with that.
No.
And I guess we just have like one question left, or I mean, it's the general concept. And Seth might know. Can you ask Seth if castor oil, um, being placed on the body or ingested, can help as much as we think it does?
Castor oil placed on the body or in the body help as much as we think it does. Yes, but it depends what you're using it for.
Yeah. So there's this thing called a castor oil pack, and you just get like a huge cloth, and you just soak it in castor oil. And for instance, I do it actually over my liver. And it's really intense. The castor oil like is an agitator, and it agitates and like gets your toxins moving.
Hmm.
You guess, Seth, how effective a castor oil pack is on a liver?
Is a castor oil pack on a liver? Very effective.
And for digestive issues, placing it over the stomach area, does that help a lot?
Digestive issues. Yeah, over the stomach area, does it help a lot? Yes, many benefits.
And actually, I get pure castor oil and I put it on my lymph nodes under my chin before I go to bed, and it like just frees up all that lymphatic fluid. It's really nice. If anyone out there wants to try that.
Oh, wow. So what do? Just rub it in?
Yeah, you just get some castor oil and I just rub it on my lymph nodes and the neck, and you can feel all your like stuff opening up when you can just feel, I don't know how to explain it. It feels very toxic relieving.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it's
Wow.
opening up everything.
What is castor oil actually made of? I don't know.
So the weird thing about castor oil is it has something in it that's I think it's close to being like something very, very abrasive, like it's one molecule away from being like toxic,
Mhm.
but it's not, I don't know. But I think it's castor seeds. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know. They're just some seeds, I guess, beans.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, can you ask Seth if a castor oil pack over a cancerous region would benefit you?
Castor oil pack over a cancerous region with that benefit. Yes, but you have to be careful. It could break the cancer up, put it in the bloodstream, and then make it spread.
And people were wondering if castor oil could get BPA's out of your body, plastics.
That's a good question. Can castor oil get BPA's out of your body? It helps to facilitate it. I had this question today, actually. It was castor oil mixed with some sort of pine. It has to be very, very specific, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Pine, I don't know exactly what it's called now, but
It
uh,
was pine, pine. Some kind of pine. It's just like pine resin.
pine resin, that's it. But it has to be, you have to follow the exact instructions. So that combined with pine resin, it actually does help to dissolve the remnants of plastic within our bodies.
Yeah. Oh, so what does Seth say that pine resin and castor oil could help?
Pine resin and castor oil can help. Can you show a picture of the pine resin so people know,
Yeah,
please? Thank you.
totally.
Because it has to be very specific.
Pine gum.
Yes, I think it was pine gum.
Yeah, so you would just cut a hole in a tree and it would make this. I actually have a bunch of this growing outside, and I used to it did not work. It's called Indian chewing gum. You get this and you mix sugar with it, and I'd be like, oh, I want to make gum. I was like 3 years old, and it would just totally be gummed up in my teeth. You can't even get it out.
Oh no!
It's terrible. But I heard that pine resin is supposed to be so good for you if you make a tea out of it.
Is pine resin good for you if you make a tea out of it? Yes, it's excellent.
Oh, what does Seth say that pine resin is the most good for?
Good for detoxing and clearing out the body.
Um, can pine resin heal us from like the flu?
Well, in that case, I needed a gallon of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole family, God, we've had this RSV flu combo for like a month. Oh God.
Wow.
Pine resin, carry you of the flu. Yes. I think the question that I got was, um, can pine resin and castor oil rid the body of parasitic or
Yeah,
parasitic?
parasites. Hmm.
And that was a yes. And also detox the body or dissolve plastics because plastics, we should just do a video on plastic and how much plastic we hold in our body, because plastic is now in everything. It's in our food,
Oh
it's
yeah.
in our water, It's in our bloodstream. It's not good.
Can you ask Seth which is better, the pine syrup or the tea from the needles? These green, the needle leaves of a pine tree.
From the needles. Is it better the syrup, the sap, or the needles? Needles are very powerful.
And what does Seth think that would be good for that needle tea, the pine tree needle tea?
What if we make pine tree needle tea and mixed it with castor oil? That's really good. It's a good purification system. We have to be careful here. We have to not get on the realms of medical advice.
Yeah.
And of course, this is medical advice. This is just, entertainment, educational, whatever. It's not even educational. It's just entertainment.
Yeah, it looks like it might be good for a cough. I'm sure you wouldn't want to use a pine tree that had pesticides on it and stuff. So, you guys all need to do your own diligence, your own research. DYOR, do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hit on pain real quick. Does Seth think it would be great for arthritis pain?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you believe that pine needle tea or pine resin would be great for rheumatoid arthritis pain? Excellent.
And does Seth know of any other natural herb that would be better for arthritis?
Do you know of any natural herb that would be better for arthritis? Not really, no. That's a good question. Who has arthritis that you know?
Oh man, everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? So that's interesting to me because there's a whole question about, since the big C word that we're not allowed to say has developed these autoimmune responses that is causing like inflammation and flare-ups, and it's now being defined as arthritis.
Is it? What does Seth say it is?
Is it because of that? Yes, that is the cause. Yes. So especially for younger people now that shouldn't have that experience, it feels like that was a triggering.
Can you ask Seth if my I might get you banned. I'll save
careful.
I'll save it for after the video. But
okay,
just a family member thing. But that's all I got for the probe.
That's all? Oh my God. What do you mean that's all? That was fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Just a couple of quick announcements. As you know, my regular reading calendar. So the regular readings, 1 hour, the queue, is 6 months out. So I've just shut the calendar off because that's kind of crazy. There is a video explaining that. So thank you. The other announcement is, don't forget we do CTT groups, healing groups every Monday at 9 a.m. Central. Those are awesome, awesome, awesome. It's a good way to introduce yourself to the CTT. How do I join the group, Liz? Well, you go to Patreon/remote viewing and beyond. Listen, it's like ridiculously low. Like it's $3.50 a week. And then Mr. Robot, you do energy healing. How do people get in touch with you?
Best way is just shoot me an email, moongrass777@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And this was much appreciated. It is the week to be thankful and show gratitude. And so we are all extremely grateful for you, Mr. Robot. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.